She walks into a room, and everyone notices. But few know the story behind the name Arissa LeBrock is not just another face in Hollywood. She comes from a lineage that has been under the spotlight for decades. Born into a family with a legendary athletic and modeling pedigree, Arissa's upbringing was far from ordinary. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing when they realized her mother was none other than the iconic Lisa Marie LeBrock, a name synonymous with glamour and grace. From an early age, Arissa was surrounded by fame, but her journey was anything but smooth. She faced immense pressure to live up to a legacy that had already made headlines around the world. Viewers on social media went wild when childhood photos of Arissa surfaced, showing a young girl with a striking resemblance to her mother, hinting that she was destined for the spotlight. But behind the glitz and glamour, there were challenges that shaped her character in ways fans could never imagine. Arissa's father, a former professional athlete, instilled a relentless drive in her from day one. Stories of her early training in both modeling and physical fitness began circulating online, drawing attention from fans who were eager to know whether she would follow in her parents' footsteps. The crowd erupted into chaos when leaked footage from one of her first modeling shoots surfaced, showing a raw talent that seemed to defy her young age. But what truly set Arissa apart was her personality, a blend of confidence, humility, and an almost magnetic charisma that immediately captured attention. Her social media presence started to explode when snippets of her behind-the-scenes life were shared, giving fans a glimpse of the discipline and dedication she poured into perfecting her craft. Despite growing up surrounded by fame, Arissa faced scrutiny and comparisons at every turn. Critics often questioned whether her success would be built on her own talent or merely her family name. However, Arissa proved early on that she had a unique voice and vision, one that could stand independently in a world obsessed with legacy and celebrity connections. Fans watched in disbelief as she carved her own path, breaking stereotypes about children of famous parents. Each public appearance, each interview, seemed to draw more attention, creating a growing sense of anticipation about what she would do next. Social media exploded with comments speculating on her future, fueling a frenzy that would only intensify over the years. But the most shocking part of her story was yet to come. Behind closed doors, Arissa was facing decisions that could make or break her budding career. Would she step fully into the spotlight and embrace the legacy she was born into? Or would she forge an entirely new identity, one that even her family had never imagined? Fans were left on edge, eagerly awaiting the next chapter in the LeBrock saga. And that chapter would reveal a side of Arissa that the world had never seen before. What happens when the pressures of fame collide with the ambition of youth? The shocking truth about Arissa LeBrock's rise is coming next. Before the red carpets and flashing cameras, Arissa LeBrock was quietly plotting her rise, and nobody saw it coming. Arissa's early career was a whirlwind of auditions, training, and behind-the-scenes hustle that fans could barely keep up with. Unlike many young stars who are propelled instantly by connections, Arissa took the unconventional route. She began with small modeling gigs and local campaigns, each project a stepping stone that would slowly build her reputation. Viewers on social media went wild when images from her first professional photo shoots leaked online, a confident young woman whose presence seemed far larger than her experience. The crowd erupted into chaos when insiders revealed that these early shoots were grueling, often lasting 12-hour days, testing both stamina and patience. But Arissa's determination never wavered. What truly set her apart was her ability to command attention without demanding it. Critics initially questioned whether her success was simply a byproduct of her family name, but Arissa's performances spoke louder than any legacy. She possessed a rare combination of poise and intensity that made her instantly recognizable. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing when her first modeling contract with a major international brand was announced, a moment that many insiders called a shockwave in the industry. Social media exploded with praise and speculation. Could this be the next global supermodel? Or was there more to Arissa than just her looks? The excitement only intensified when she began sharing snippets of her life online, offering glimpses into her disciplined routines, workout regimens, and behind-the-scenes struggles. Her journey wasn't without obstacles. Competition was fierce, and rejection became a familiar companion. Auditions that once seemed promising would end with a polite, "We'll call you," leaving her frustrated but undeterred. Fans watched in disbelief as she faced these challenges head-on, proving her resilience at every turn. Rumors circulated about secret coaching sessions, private mentoring from industry veterans, and even late-night study of fashion and photography to understand the craft from every angle. The narrative began to shift. Arissa wasn't just a legacy, she was an emerging force shaping her own destiny. The turning point came when Arissa landed her first high-profile magazine feature. The issue sold out in record numbers, and industry insiders immediately took notice. Viewers on social media went wild, flooding comment sections with praise, comparisons, and predictions about her future. The crowd erupted into chaos when it was revealed that several major agencies were vying for her signature, offering contracts that could launch her career globally. It was a rare moment when the industry collectively acknowledged that a new star had arrived, and that star was Arissa LeBrock. Yet, just as she was poised for global recognition, a shocking revelation threatened to upend everything. Rumors began circulating about a private incident from her past, one that could challenge her public image and test her resolve. Fans were left questioning, could Arissa survive the scrutiny and emerge stronger? Or would this secret derail the trajectory she had worked so hard to build? The world was holding its breath, waiting for the next move in a story that had only just begun. The world thought they knew Arissa LeBrock, but the truth behind her breakthrough is far darker and more shocking than anyone could imagine. Just when it seemed Arissa LeBrock's star could only rise, the headlines exploded, and not in a way anyone expected. Arissa LeBrock's journey to stardom was not a smooth ascent. As her visibility increased, so did scrutiny. Every appearance, every social media post, and every public statement became fodder for critics and fans alike. Viewers on social media went wild when rumors surfaced of behind-the-scenes conflicts with established industry figures. Some claimed she was difficult to work with, while others insisted she was fiercely protective of her craft. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing when leaked footage from a private event suggested a tense confrontation between Arissa and a top modeling mentor. The crowd erupted into chaos as speculation spread across online forums, fueling a frenzy that only heightened the intrigue surrounding her. Despite the controversies, Arissa's fame continued to soar. She mastered the delicate balance of staying in the public eye while maintaining a carefully curated personal brand. Every headline, no matter how scandalous, seemed to amplify her reach. Social media exploded with discussions, memes, and trending hashtags bearing her name. Analysts marveled at how she transformed potential setbacks into opportunities, leveraging controversy to solidify her presence in an industry obsessed with attention. Fans watched in disbelief as Arissa navigated this treacherous landscape, turning each challenge into a stepping stone for her next achievement. One of the most shocking episodes came when a major fashion show allegedly cut her appearance at the last minute. Insiders hinted at political maneuvering and backstage drama, though no official statements were ever released. Viewers on social media went wild, theorizing about secret rivalries and hidden alliances. The crowd erupted into chaos when images surfaced showing Arissa's reaction, poised, yet visibly frustrated, hinting at a resilience that few could match. It became clear that she wasn't just a rising star. She was a player in a high-stakes game that tested loyalty, strategy, and endurance. Arissa's ability to endure public scrutiny and private conflicts set her apart from her peers. She began to cultivate a reputation for fearlessness, taking on projects that others might shy away from and using her platform to amplify her own narrative. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing as she landed a groundbreaking cover story for a top-tier publication, solidifying her position as a major influence in fashion and celebrity culture. Social media exploded once again, celebrating her triumphs while debating the origins of her controversies. The crowd erupted into chaos as insiders revealed that behind every scandal, Arissa had a meticulous strategy, turning potential setbacks into viral moments that propelled her career forward. Yet, the story was far from over. The controversies that had fueled her rise also threatened to consume her. Whispers of personal betrayals, secret relationships, and powerful enemies hinted at a darker chapter in her life, one that fans and followers had yet to fully comprehend. The world was on edge, waiting to see if Arissa could survive the storm she had stepped into and come out stronger than ever before. The controversies made her a household name, but what happened next would shock even her most loyal fans, a secret that could redefine everything about Arissa. The cameras may capture the glamour, but behind the scenes, Arissa LeBrock's life was far more complicated and far more shocking. While the public admired her on magazine covers and social media, very few knew the true story of Arissa's personal life. Born into fame but determined to create her own identity, she faced pressures most could never imagine. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing when she began sharing cryptic posts about her struggles with trust, betrayal, and the relentless demands of her career. Viewers on social media went wild, dissecting every word, every emoji, and every subtle hint, trying to piece together the reality behind the curated images. The crowd erupted into chaos when rumors circulated about a secret mentor who shaped her approach to life and work. Someone who pushed her to the edge, teaching lessons that were sometimes painful but always unforgettable. Arissa's relationships, both personal and professional, became the subject of intense speculation. Dating rumors swirled, friendships were analyzed, and every interaction seemed to carry hidden meaning. Fans watched in disbelief as she maintained a delicate balance, protecting her privacy while still feeding curiosity in the public eye. Social media exploded when an anonymous source claimed that Arissa had once faced a betrayal so severe it almost ended her career before it truly began. The allegation created a firestorm, dividing audiences between supporters and skeptics. but it also cemented her reputation as someone who refused to be broken. Amid the chaos, Arissa revealed glimpses of her vulnerabilities. Interviews and rare candid posts hinted at the emotional toll of constant scrutiny and the pressure to live up to her family legacy. Viewers on social media went wild when she admitted struggling with anxiety and the weight of expectations, a confession that resonated deeply with fans around the world. The crowd erupted into chaos as it became clear that her glamorous image masked a life of intense discipline, resilience, and personal sacrifice. Arissa was not just surviving in the spotlight. She was mastering the art of thriving despite it. One of the most shocking secrets involved her family dynamics. Though born into privilege, Arissa's path was far from easy. Stories surfaced about rivalries, parental expectations, and even moments of isolation that tested her willpower. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing when leaked interviews hinted at late-night arguments and private struggles that few had ever imagined. Social media exploded, with viewers debating whether these challenges had fueled her strength or threatened to overwhelm her. The tension created a sense of anticipation, leaving fans wondering how she would navigate the complicated web of fame, family, and personal ambition. Despite these challenges, Arissa continued to rise, building a platform that combined artistry, charisma, and authenticity. Yet, the shadow of secrecy still loomed over her life. Every revelation seemed to raise more questions than answers, keeping fans on the edge of their seats. The world had seen the glamour, the controversies, and the triumphs. But the next chapter promised a level of personal revelation that could shock even her most loyal supporters. Arissa LeBrock's story was far from over. The private battles she fought would soon collide with public scrutiny in ways nobody could predict. From rising star to cultural icon, Arissa LeBrock's journey is more than fame. It's a story that will define a generation. By the time Arissa LeBrock reached the pinnacle of her career, the world had seen her transformation from a legacy-born hopeful to a force of her own making. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing as she graced international runways, magazine covers, and digital campaigns that set new standards in the industry. Viewers on social media went wild, celebrating her influence and debating her impact across fashion, entertainment, and celebrity culture. The crowd erupted into chaos during her first global campaign reveal, with insider reports calling it one of the most viral moments of the year. Her rise wasn't just about looks or heritage, it was a culmination of talent, strategy, and an unrelenting drive that captured the imagination of millions. Arissa's influence extended far beyond modeling. She became a symbol of empowerment, proving that even in a world obsessed with perfection, authenticity could shine brighter than any facade. Fans watched in disbelief as she launched initiatives promoting self-confidence, mental health awareness, and artistic freedom, all while navigating the pressures of fame. Social media exploded with support, inspiring thousands of young people to pursue their passions fearlessly. Her story became a blueprint for leveraging legacy without being defined by it, showing that even the children of legends could carve their own path and leave a mark that was unmistakably their own. Despite her accomplishments, Arissa remained shrouded in mystery, which only heightened her allure. Rumors about upcoming projects, possible acting roles, and secret collaborations kept fans on edge. Viewers on social media went wild when insiders hinted that she might be stepping into a new arena, one that could blend celebrity, business, and creative influence in unprecedented ways. The crowd erupted into chaos as speculation soared. Could Arissa be preparing to redefine what it means to be a modern icon? Every post, every interview, every carefully chosen public appearance was dissected, creating a narrative that was as compelling as any blockbuster film. Arissa's legacy is not just measured in contracts or social media followers, it is measured in the conversations she sparks and the inspiration she provides. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing when her influence began to shape trends, spark debates, and challenge traditional standards of beauty and success. Social media exploded as young creatives cited her as a reason they pursued modeling, entrepreneurship, or artistic ventures, proving that her impact was both broad and profound. Even her critics acknowledged the power of her story, a tale of resilience, ambition, and courage that few could replicate. Yet, as she looks to the future, the most shocking chapter may still be unwritten. Arissa LeBrock is not content with simply maintaining fame. She aims to redefine it. The world is waiting to see what comes next. Global ventures, creative projects, and personal revelations that could shock fans all over again. One thing is certain, Arissa's story is far from over, and her legacy will be remembered not just for who she is, but for the mark she leaves on the industry and the generations that follow. Arissa LeBrock has conquered the spotlight, but the real story is only just beginning, and fans everywhere are watching, waiting, and wondering, what will she do next?